All right, bear with me. This clip's kind of long.
I'm comfortable with my abandonment.
Because you are in your dysfunctional norm that you become comfortable with.
But it's worked. It's become a superpower.
But you've learned to survive in it. You're not thriving in that. That's not thriving. You're surviving in that.
Okay.
And so anytime you are surviving and not thriving, there is no cape. There is no superpower. There's no superpower in a lack of mental health. And there's no superpower.
But it's worked for me. Like you said, I mean, you
know why it worked
read
for you?
me well.
You know why it worked for you?
Why?
You know why it worked for you? I'm gonna go there, and it's probably gonna be okay.
Go ahead. This
this is what
we got 2 minutes left in our first session.
With all due respect, seriously, to all the women that you've encountered, ladies, I'm saying this. The reason why it's worked for you is because you have chosen and to prey on low-functioning women who don't have the emotional intelligence. No, I'm going there.
This is where she got herself in trouble.
To do that, Nick. And when I say allow, it's not a control thing. When I say allow, I'm not saying that she sits across you and says, this is what you won't do, you're crossing a boundary. Nick.
I disagree.
Yes.
This is why I disagree. I mean, one, because
why you gonna make sure, but you gotta go in protection mode too.
But it's not that. You could say from the high, all the high value women that I've ever
but I didn't say high value.
But okay, I'm giving compliments. But I'm just saying
I'm like, wait a minute.
For the people who are even of them being, because first of all,
low functioning woman will allow you to function low with them. Nick, you could not function that low.
So this is
Nick,
everyone's low functioning at some point in their life.
You could not function low with a woman of my functioning, not because I'm superior. Not because I'm superior.
This is where she get herself in trouble.
Not because I'm superior to any other woman, but because I do have leverage. I've been in my field for 17 years, so we get that. But I've done the work, meaning
she'll use that as leverage.
You won't have an opportunity to get hostile with me, and you may want to flee, but fleeing would not get you a payoff with me. Wait a minute.
I'm not the hostile individual.
So this is that's my point. Did you hear what you just said? We said the same thing. You would never have the opportunity to get hostile with me.
Yeah, because I control myself.
Hold on. Okay.
I have full control of my. But in your sense, because that's what I'm saying. Because only reason I say what I disagree, because at some point we've all been low functioning. Yes. And we have to accept that. Yes. So to label that is like, all right, at some point everybody's going to be in their low state. Everybody's going to be vulnerable. Everybody's going to feel empty. Everybody's going to yearn something.
Mental health,
and when it comes to relationships, the beauty of a great relationship is where I'm weak, you are strong. So therefore, I have dealt with some people that balance me and are equally yoked. And at times, have I been manipulative and prey on certain things? Because I'm a man.
Right. But not all men do that. We don't want to blanket all men.
And I was taking advantage.
All men do not prey and manipulate. Not all men.
First of all humans
where she gets herself in trouble.
But in a man
in a relationship, not in a praying way.
If I see that I can say, okay, I feel like I need this and this person has this, I'm going to do and say whatever I need to do to get that.
But Nick, again, law of attraction. We attract who we are despite of who we think we are. You used the word, you said women who are equally yoked to you.
Yeah.
Equally yoked comes in many different facets.
100%. Balance, if anything.
They have been equally yoked to your low functioning dysfunction that you have learnned to survive in.
Because I use my tools to because first of all, you're acting as if I'm entering every scenario with the full me, and we all, every time someone meets someone, you're meeting their representative. I know how to turn on the perfect man.
Depending on the person,
therefore I may have manipulated a situation,
and
therefore it's to no discredit to anyone.
Make sure Nick know that.
I come into every situation. I can be God-fearing, celibate, the one that you want. I can tell you everything that you want in a man and show you that. I can open the doors, lay down the cloak, send the jet, do it all to be like, oh my goodness. I've never. And then toxic Nick shows up, and you're like, this motherfucker got me.
No, but
he done gave me the draws, and I ain't heard from him in 3 weeks.
What you said is perfect. No, what you said is perfect because you named all of the low-functioning, superficial things that a low-functioning woman would fall into.
Church,
women,
that ain't low-functioning.
Baby, any woman,
any
woman or man,
or the mosque, wherever you want to go. I know them both.
Any person who's done the work, who gained a sense of self, who's worked on their pain pockets, who's worked on their trauma,
are still going to be vulnerable.
They're going to be vulnerable.
They're still going to yearn. And late at night when you're sleeping alone, you go, I wish I had a strong man to rub my back.
They're going to be imperfect, but that person would want a strong, healthy, functioning man, not a low-functioning man.
Sometimes it's being a nigga with some good hands.
Not a low-functioning man, no. That's what I'm saying is the difference. But
every woman, you can't, Doc, you can't sit here and say that.
But you're speaking from your experience, which makes it better.
So
because your experience of these women is that they fall short for a jet and a good meal and a good man who says he goes
and
to church.
And some strong hands.
And let me go further, and probably a big penis. So let me go. But again, a high functioning. I'm not even talking about value. A high functioning woman who's done the work.
I'm trying to hear what this high functioning woman
is. Make her break that down.
A high functioning woman, you cannot send a jet and be toxic, and she will go on the
She don't know I'm toxic yet.
A high-functioning woman wouldn't even attract you, baby. Because it's law of attraction. Stick with me. Just stick with me.
Please explain this
regulate your emotions and stick with me. Regulate your emotions and stick with me. I'm trying to hear you. Listen, what is law of attraction? We attract who we are despite who we think we are.
Absolutely.
Think we are.
Absolutely.
Okay. So a high-functioning woman is not going to attract by default. By her calibration, she's not attracting a man who is not perfect. The man has got all kinds of mess. So does she. But when it comes to the level of her calibration and functioning and mental health and doing the work, she's going to attract that at which she is, that at what she leads with. So let me say this. Do I get on private jets that I pay for myself? Absolutely. Have I had a man do a wonderful, beautiful things for me? Absolutely. Have I had rocks and this and caught off weddings? Of course. But let me say this. Prior to me doing the work and being a high-functioning woman, I attracted low-functioning men.
By her own standards.
Let me finish. No, that's not what I said. I said prior to me doing the work and becoming a high-functioning woman, my low-functioning self attracted low-functioning men. Hold on. You know why I attracted them? Because I needed low-functioning to feed low-functioning. Okay, hold on. A low-functioning man cannot feed a high-functioning woman, and a low-functioning woman can't feed a high-functioning man. And so what I'm telling you is there is no equally yoked there.
Let me break this shit down to you, because we grown-ass men. You're 40 and you sound like a goofy.
Welcome back to the channel. G-Mac back with a joint. Like, subscribe, comment if you make it past this point. And with that, let's take this walk.
And homie, you got it wrong. Homie ain't getting on just cause homie got a song.
That's that nigga, you know what I'm saying? He's doing his thing.
And look, here's the main issue with Dr. Bryant's psychoanalysis of Nick Cannon by way of Cam Newton as it pertains to low vibration, high vibration, and the overall downfall of these men and to a larger degree, men in general. She's a woman, an extremely educated and qualified woman. Let me explain. And additionally, as silly as it sounds and dismissive as it sounds, especially coming from somebody without a degree in the field, it's just psychology. The study and analysis of the human mind and behavior. William Wundt and Sigmund Freud, respectively, are the fathers of modern psychology. So what that means is, whatever knowledge Dr. Bryant has gained over those 17 years are derivatives of the feelings and the theories of a German and an Austrian, or whatever that's worth. But some people just have an innate feel for reading people, that can maybe equate to somebody's years of textbook indoctrination. Question is, do those credentials give a woman enough intangible institutional knowledge to be able to diagnose how men should be moving? Because her first red flag from the clip was establishing that she was a woman that Nick just couldn't fuck. Because, and I'm paraphrasing, she's smart and bitches are dumb and low vibrational, even though she later admitted to being low vibrational earlier in her life at a point. But that was put into perspective the mission that she was clearly on with Nick and Cam, and that was breaking down the male ego. Not being a man rendered her to point out what she could see and feel from a textbook surface level. And that was telling her that rich men living bachelor lives with all types of access to women need to be told that indulging in what comes with your status is wrong because no woman is benefiting from it or being put on a pedestal in the process. Well, she actually didn't say all that, but you see right through it. Second red flag came when Nick correctly rebutted her attack with shit that she personally could not register. I'm a man. She responded with, not all men are like that. Naive as fuck at the very least. Because first and foremost, all men don't have the type of access to what tempts his nature like a Nick or a Cam. Secondly, the same niggas that are virtue signal people like Dr. Bryant, with that I'm not the same, blah, 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 etc., etc., etc. Usually the same niggas that are getting kicked out of the strip club because they're touching all the girls inappropriately. New pussy is enticing to any man, thirsty or not. Women shame that nature, yet capitalize on the shit in their everyday interaction with men. Whether you're enticing niggas online for tips, you got a sugar daddy, or just making niggas pay for shit in general, you ain't stupid. You know your personality sucks. You know your leverage is a pussy God gave you and gave men as the top preferable option to lust over. Now, don't get it twisted. To Dr. Bryant's point, having that nature doesn't mean necessarily that men are just walking around not being able to control their peace. Because lots of men are in relationships and don't cheat, but just understand it is a sacrifice in resisting temptation. And the only thing that makes that sacrifice easier and worth it is having a woman that you love and never want to see hurt. And this is why a male therapist would have been better. As a man who would probably be in a higher tax bracket and experience some of the same aspects of life to indulge in like Cam and Nick, and who probably has a side chick, he would probably take a different approach rather than spend so much energy on making sure the ego was collapsed first. Because again, he'd understand and most importantly, feel the reality of how that ego manifests. He'd search for solutions. And lastly, before I get out of here, her calling women low vibrational for being enticed by a financially stable man is disingenuous and dismissive to the female nature. Stability, especially financial, will always supersede, trying to meet some type of high vibrational checkpoint set in life by some unmarried, without child psychologist. Making women feel bad for being women just to make men feel bad for being men sounds more personal than professional. So next time.